I'm Morey White.
I'm Bob Nelson.
I'm Pastor Johnny Leckie, and this is the Compass Conversation Podcast. Woohoo! Where's Tracey? Tracey's not here. We will follow you. You have the name above every name. We will follow you, King Jesus. Now we're back. Woohoo!
I'll be back.
I'll be back. We are back. Well, first things first, Tracey's not here.
He's not here.
Why is Tracey not here? I know, but
Tracey is not feeling well today.
he is ill.
Tracey is ill. There's more to that story. He, of course, did his reserve duty, and a young man that he came in contact, well, he did not actually come in contact, but the guy was there. The guy's wife tested positive. So Tracey, because he's not feeling well, is not taking any chances.
He's a good man.
And he is keeping his distance from us. Although he did have to come out here and help us with the microphone.
We're doomed.
I feel kind of bad.
Well, I have COVID already.
But we stayed away from him as much as we could.
We did.
We got Morgan in here tonight. I told you to stay. Yep, there's the hand. There's the hand. Yep. Morgan's helping us out a little bit tonight. You rock, man. Thanks.
Oh, my.
I'll link to whatever you want me to link to later. Okay, so. All right. Well, how are you doing, Morey? You've been breathing heavy. You've been running around in here. You did some laps.
Yeah, but you fanned me with the paper there.
We'll just keep doing
With
that.
my John 3:16 paper.
That's the best kind.
That's right.
John 3.
Today was a Monday for work. Got a lot done, and we're gonna keep moving this paper.
It's just
Between the two of us.
Man, just keep talking. It's the only way we'll keep talking.
Have you ever watched that?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's like
moved
jigsaw puzzles. Keep talking, Morey.
we all got our
All's
thing.
well. We'll get this thing together. It's like a new game we can create here, right here.
I'm feeling much better now.
Whose cup is this?
I think it's mine.
All right. So you were telling me this is a Monday, and
It was a Monday. Got a lot done though. My boss has been on paternity leave,
Oh, cool.
so he. Yeah, it sounds weird to say that, doesn't it?
What's that?
I mean, because
Say paternity leave?
paternity leave.
No, that's good.
so-
It's a good thing.
But yeah, so it does for me because
Oh, yeah, I get it.
when my kids were born,
Yeah.
us guys didn't get any
Yeah.
time
I
off.
know. It's
You
a
got
cool
the
thing.
day of the delivery, and then you're back the next day.
We were.
Pretty much.
So yeah, he took a week off. That's all he took. So he's back, and of course he's energized.
He's ready to go. He's got
He
a
is
long
ready
list
to
of
go.
things to do.
Yes, that's okay. He's even gotten Morgan involved in some logo work.
Where's Morgan? Morgan? Where's Morgan's
Morgan?
here? There's Morgan.
But I'm doing all right.
Awesome. Very good. Bobster, how you doing, man?
I'm doing very
Sorry
well.
I called you Bobster. I didn't mean to.
There are many things that you can call me. Bobster is okay.
Bobster's
Ryan,
okay?
Just kind of came out of nowhere.
Rhymes with mobster. I'm pretty okay with
You're
that.
okay?
Hey, Robert.
No.
Not right.
All right, Bob.
And not late for dinner.
Yeah. So I did not run a 10K this weekend.
You did not run a 10
Did not run a 10K. But
You
I played,
did last week.
I played soccer for 2 hours, and it was what was really cool about that was at the end, all these young punks around me, because I was like the oldest one there. They were like, "Oh, I'm so tired." I'm like, "Go for another hour."
There you go. That's what you
Made me
want
feel
to
young.
That's what you want to hear. I was about to say. Yeah, age and health are two totally different things.
Yep.
Oh,
Yes.
well, good. So no 10K this time.
Yeah, and the work was good today. Kind of slow. But yeah.
Very good. We had a good conversation
Our
earlier.
was
Yeah,
great.
That was
Yep.
fantastic.
Enjoyed that.
So biggest thing between last week and this week is I'm all smiles, we're all laughing, ha 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 ha, last week, right?
Yes.
So that was Monday night. And so Tuesday night, suddenly the pain begins right here.
yes,
Like,
yes.
what is going on? Oh, that old tooth that I've just ignored for a while. That hasn't hurt, been a problem. It's just like I had a filling put in when I was like 13 or something. And so like decades later, that filling eventually left, but the tooth was all intact, But eventually, you need a tooth there. And so
Yes.
it just started hurting. Well, it was Tuesday night. It's like, well, I'll grin and bear it, took the ibuprofen. Well, after a horrible night, I mean, like 3 in the morning, for still no sleep and just, the next morning does arrive. It happened. I was beginning to doubt that it would, but there it was. The morning came. I was praying for daylight. And I just, as soon as they were open, I called the dentist, set up the appointment. They said, we can't get you in today. I was like, it really hurts. I'm sorry, it's just we can't get you in. I actually called them back later in the day even. Say, did anybody cancel? Because I'm like, I'll just take a shot in the dark. And the guy was like, so sorry. He's like, man, I'm so sorry. Everybody's already gone home. It's like, okay, another night. So I had to go through Tuesday night. And by the time Wednesday rolled around, I mean, I couldn't think. I had to cancel our check-in on Wednesday. I just couldn't think, man. I couldn't. Everything hurt so badly. And then went to the doctor, dentist. They checked me out. They suggested a couple of things, root canal, crown, all things I knew were coming, but they didn't do it then. He just said, let me get some antibiotics and we're going to do this in 2 weeks.
Yes.
So I was like, so when I came home, I was telling Leona, I was like, so here's what's been done to help my tooth feel better since I left you. Nothing! They gave me medicine. Now I had to wait for the medicine to kick in. The good news is, literally by that afternoon, it had already started. I could tell it was working.
Yep.
Infection's gone. I'm laughing again. Ha 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 ha. Pain is gone, but it will definitely come back. But I got to do this thing.
Did you chew on an aspirin?
Chew on aspirin?
Thing.
No, I didn't do that.
Oh my god,
it makes a lot of
really
sense.
helps.
Yeah, direct hit to the
think
the
about
aspirin.
it helps.
Yeah.
It
I
helps
couldn't
so
think at all
much.
anyway. I'll remember that next time, because the thing is, I have another tooth on the other side I talked to them about. It's like, I know this one's got to be done. I'm not going to wait till it hurts next time.
I hear you.
So that's my pain story for you. But yeah, I lost at least 2.5, almost 3 days worth of really anything productive because I was just shut down. I don't know if you ever had that kind of pain where it felt I couldn't touch here. It was up in my ear. It was like, oh man, it was awful.
That to me is the worst pain ever.
Yeah, you can't get away from it.
No.
It's like I could relate to Leona's massive headaches that she gets. You get headaches, I know, from time to time. You can't go anywhere. I mean, you take everything you can take, but it's like you can't escape from your head. No. Although, I mean, I suppose you could, but no way. But anyway, well, let's say I'm doing better.
And so today was productive.
Today has been actually fairly productive. That's productive. I'm all productive today. I don't know what that means, but I'm productive. Got a birthday coming up this week.
You?
That's right. 83 this week.
You look really good.
Thanks.
It's all about health.
82.
It's all about health, like I said. I look
Wow.
yeah.
Very tempted to sing the happy birthday song then.
No. There's no need for that. Well, so
This podcast.
We will do it eventually.
Oh no.
that's a copyright song.
Much cooler.
Happy birthday. It's
Yeah,
not today.
lots of clapping.
It's not today. So it doesn't.
No?
No. It's,
Because we do, in my family, it is the happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy day. Hey, do we have a birthday here?
Yes, we have a birthday here.
Birthday here?
Yay! Morgan's here. Morgan's over there making noise.
So that's what we do in our family. We get really annoying.
Well, I don't have to say this, but it's
Mine's a little different.
What's yours?
Equally annoying.
Do it.
Me. Happy birthday, you too. Happy birthday, you too. Happy birthday, dear Donnie. Happy birthday, you too.
oh man, I thought you were saying YouTube at first.
Nah.
Okay. Well, it's not my
good.
birthday. It's not until this week.
So I get to do it again.
Later. Maybe. Maybe not. It'll be over by the time I see you again. Most likely. No, it will still not have happened. It's before Sunday. That's all I'll say.
Gotcha.
I don't really care. So anyhow, I will say I do care.
Is it on Thursday?
Every new birthday is a thing to celebrate.
Is it on Thursday?
It's better than the, it's this week.
Okay.
It's August 6th, whatever that is.
Thursday.
I did not.
I can start moving stuff around again.
How do I divert?
No, I am happy. You know, it's a bummer getting a little older, but it's better than the alternative. So
Yes.
Getting younger?
That would be weird because you finally get back to a point. It's got to stop.
Yes.
They're getting younger.
I don't know that I'd
Disembodied
want to get younger.
voice came from somewhere. What happened? It's probably not even on mic. That's the thing. You're probably not even on mic.
This thing picks up just about everything. So
Yeah, I'm going to levelate it anyway, so it'll be. You'll probably be there. Well, anywho, well, enough of this stuff.
enough of this stuff.
Unless there's anything else you guys want to.
Oh, well, we're without a timer today, so I have no idea.
Yeah, I got a basic idea.
You know, Tracy is really good about timing
That's true.
things that I didn't even think about it.
It's okay.
He thinks
We don't
about
care.
things.
It's.
I don't think about it.
They tune out 10 minutes out anyway. No, they won't. No, they won't. All right, guys. What do you guys want to talk about? Obviously, this is always unscripted. I bet you couldn't tell. Welcome back to the podcast. But basically, we just talk about what's going on in our church, stuff we talked about on Sunday, that sort of thing, and just kind of process that a little bit. What do you guys want to
We talked about
You
Sunday.
guys remember
Yes.
anything about Sunday?
Yeah, we're still on point number 7,
Which is
Oh, well, we will be for another few weeks, actually.
and I'm good with that.
it's a good point.
Worship's a good
So,
point.
yes. And for those of you who might not remember, are you worshiping in a fresh and vibrant way?
Yeah. Is your worship?
So fresh.
The question
is my worship
Is my worship fresh
and vibrant?
Yes, I did see your comment, and it was right on the money.
Fresh and vibrant comment. What was your comment?
I actually quoted it, yeah.
You did.
Oh yeah, that's right. You
got
did.
it exactly
I did
right.
see that. That's right. We liked it later. That's right. Oh man, exactly. So yeah, so we went a little farther into that.
We did.
I got a little lost in the English lesson there for a second. It distracted me because I did exactly what I didn't want to do in that, and so it made it more confusing. But what was there? Was there anything about yesterday that stood out to you guys, or that you had a question about? Or?
Yes.
That's code, folks.
Thank you for being here
trying to
tonight.
dig in and
That's all we
remember what happened
have.
yesterday.
We are done. Oh, wait.
No, really, it
No.
has been a busy day, so my mind is not
Oh, you got to
100% there.
remember. Sure.
But I'll remember it here in just a minute.
That's all right.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, going back to what I said last week, the worship isn't what we think it is, where it's just going to a place which was one of the questions. What does the sentence mean to
Verb,
you?
yeah.
I am going to worship.
I want to worship. That's
Yeah.
right. Yes.
Verb. I remember now.
Yep.
Verb. That's what's happening.
And so
The English lesson.
yeah, going to worship is not going to a place. It's just that lifestyle of what are we doing with our relationship with God, really.
Yeah.
And literally almost anything can be worship if we turn it the right way.
Well, that's true. I didn't go that deep into it, but there is, except for saying that worship is a way of life. It's more than just singing. And we actually are going to talk about singing, and we're going to talk about that kind of stuff, music and all those things. I just, you got to cover the foundational stuff first.
Right.
To understand that it's more than just that, right? That is an expression of something that's bigger and broader. But again, I don't want to give too much away. I want you to be curious.
And I keep going back.
Anticipation for
Keep
something.
going back to the Israelites because, well, that's what I've been reading.
Yeah, you're
lately.
you're making your way through the Bible right now, right?
Through our way. And we're in Joshua now, so some fun stuff there. I mean, right off the bat, I just got to say, how awesome would it be to get encouragement from God, a pep talk from God, right off the bat?
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's pretty clear.
yeah, but I keep going back to that, and I think about the Levitical priest and the lifestyle that they had to live. Now that of course is very extreme, but they lived that their whole lifestyle was in praise and worship to God. Everything that they did, and it should be the same for us, and I don't mean the sacrifice.
Right.
minus the goat sacrifices and a bull every once in a while. The first, 1-year-old bull.
Well, you'll get, speaking of deep weeds there, sure.
Yeah, but
it is great though if you ever you guys are going through like a chronological way through, which is always kind of tricky too. What's also another plan you can do another time is when you're reading Old Testament, you're also seeing New Testament things about those Old Testament things that bring a little bit of light as you go, rather than later. Although what you're doing is still good.
Well, next we'll probably go through
next
it that
round.
Way. Next we'll go that way.
Yeah, because it is amazing. I mean, because there are moments and there are certain specific things, specific time to the nation of Israel that that are all about foreshadowing something else.
Yes.
And there's still stuff to learn from it.
Yeah.
But you have to read it and apply certain things with a different understanding.
Apparently, they are a stiff-necked people.
You're stiff-necked. You're a stiff-necked people, ain't you?
Wait until you get to Judges.
Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah. I'm just happy that you made it through Deuteronomy and didn't get lost in Numbers.
No,
there's some crazy things going on.
Yeah, but you know we found that really interesting.
Oh yeah.
Because you start looking at the magnitude of those that were in the desert, by the numbers, and you start looking at that and calculating and who was where everybody was camped, and you start getting into the lineage, which is cool, because this is all historical facts. So
sure, yeah.
And it's really neat to look into that now. Especially for somebody like Julie, and she wouldn't mind me saying this, but she's not read some of that stuff at all.
In fairness, there are a lot of people who have not.
Yeah.
Been in church all their lives and never read any of that.
In fact, we were talking about that whenever it came to worship. And I don't want to say this is her first real church experience because it's not, but she's learned. Together, we have learned so much more at this church.
Yeah, great.
We're getting fed, which is the way it's supposed to be. But
and learning to feed yourself, which is also fantastic.
But so whenever she hears the word worship, she sees it as a verb.
Yeah.
And she talked about that, and I started thinking about. I'm wondering if it's the church that have a little harder time with the word and determining if it's verb or noun or I wonder if we've kind of put ourselves, because of tradition and things like that, saying worship service and not using that word in its true context.
Maybe it should be service of worship.
What?
There's the high end. Don't lie. Oh well, I was thinking those people that you've been reading about in that time and during that day, none of them would have said when talking about worship, they wouldn't have said, well, which songs are you talking about?
No,
because it was a whole thing. There was a lot of expression of worship, but again, we could get bogged down in that. Okay. But just in a general sense, who you worshipped is who had your life and who you devoted your life to, even then. But yes, going back to what you're saying, Bob, about that sentence, the reason I had said that sentence, I am going to worship, is that just to start thinking that you could say, I'm going to Switzerland, or you can say, I'm going to work out. Mm-hmm. And going to Switzerland just means you're going to a destination. If you say I'm going to work out, it means you're going to do something. And I was just trying to say, let's start thinking about worship as something I'm going to do, something I'm going to do. It's not just to watch; it's something I actually do. I worship the Lord, and that means you can do so even if the music isn't that great, because you might go, "Ooh, we got to work on that," or "We, you know what, that would have been better." But I'm not here just to hear it. It'll help me if it's done well and right.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, you know what? I'm here to worship God. I'm going to chew into those words, what we're singing. I'm going to incline my heart to what He might want. I'm going to listen to what He has to say. It's a different approach. It's completely. I mentioned that my family has been in a variety of settings. I'm sure you guys have too at one point or another. But I've been in a little tiny country church and visiting relatives or whatever, and sitting on a really uncomfortable, bench or whatever, and some good old dude, good old boy kind of guy gets up there and he just starts praying, and the singing is just awkward and weird. Yet, if the heart is right and they're pursuing God and they want to offer Him praise and honor, I can worship with those guys.
Absolutely.
It may not be my favorite thing. I'm probably not coming back to that one next week. But you can do it. But anyhow, that's what I wanted to see, is that part of the responsibility of how well, not just your own personal life worship is, but how well the experience together for you personally is. That responsibility certainly rests on those who are making it happen. I very much understand the weight of that, but so much of that responsibility also is just what you're bringing to that.
You're right. You're right.
I think.
Morgan has mentioned that we are getting low on time.
Are we getting low on time already? Did my watch stop?
Actually, we have 9 minutes left.
9
Oh yeah.
minutes.
Okay. Well, let's fill that 9.
No, we've had some discussion around that, but you're exactly right. It's the responsibility is on both sides.
And of course, we want to. Well, I'm going to get ahead about this. I don't want to get ahead of myself in this. I realize our podcast is happening after this day. It's not about 3 weeks from now or 2 weeks from now. But I'll give you a little teaser.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler. Zoom. You know what? I'm not even going to get the teaser. That
Sorry,
was the teaser. Ooh.
So rude.
That's so stupid. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I messed it up.
Well, no. I'm just kidding. It's just that there's always an assumption that unbelievers are present when worshipers of Jesus gather. And that there are things about that are important that we will be talking about later.
Yes.
But so the perspective that we've been talking about is coming from those of us who've already begun to follow Christ, who've been saved by Him, and that responsibility falls on us. If you're somebody who doesn't know Jesus at all, none of that is applying to you completely, except for, as we were in the Gospel of Mark several weeks ago, and we talked about the soil of your heart and life.
Yes.
He who has ears to hear, let him hear. And even a measure more will be given back to you. So there is still something in that. God draws us, and but anyhow.
Kind of to go into that though, when you have somebody who doesn't believe and they are there in that moment doing that worship and stuff with you, it can be a really powerful effect. And I know that personally because it was at a service of worship that I gave my life to Jesus.
Oh, cool.
So and how everybody was, involved in that was definitely a part of my salvation experience.
Oh, yeah, cool.
So yeah,
It's part of the testimony of worship.
Exactly.
Which is what we will talk about. That's very cool. Maybe I'll give you. Maybe you need to be given a testimony on that day, Bob.
Ooh, I can do that.
Get you up to talk.
Yep.
And yet on the other side of that too, whereas worship is great testimony, and again, we're way ahead of ourselves on this because we're not talking about that till at least not next week. It's the week after. But anyway, the testimony of worship is a great thing. However, if you do not make any acknowledgement that there are unbelievers in the room, then you can confuse them.
Yes.
You can scare them off. I had a conversation with a guy one time. He was like, Johnny, you mean if the church is all in there and they're just kind of pressing into God, and see that expression alone, right, is a very churchy kind of expression.
It is, yeah.
But if we're just worshiping passionately, we're just pressing in, don't you think that that's going to draw them in? And I said, well, some, yes.
Yes, some.
But you also had relational connections already.
There was a bunch of stuff before that.
I was going to say, but if you just have just walked in, you might go, what the heck is going on here? I don't understand this. I don't get it. We want it, we hope that, just having the presence of God and manifesting Himself in our gathering is going to draw people to Him. But there's more to it than that, and there are specific things in Scripture that tell us a little bit of how we can deal with that. So most of our podcast is a preview for the next couple of weeks. We'll be talking more about. But anyway, what else did we say? What else was there from Sunday? We talked a little bit about holiness too, being set apart.
Yes.
As a part of that. Then there was the statement, worship is a verb.
I'm trying to remember what your definition of holiness was, because it was more than just being set apart. It went a little bit deeper than that. And it struck me as it's something that was, because I've heard that a bunch of times. And being holy means you're set apart, but it's like set apart to what?
For what?
Yeah, exactly.
For the purpose of glorifying God in your life, and
Yep.
that involves presenting your body as a living sacrifice out of 12:1. That is holy and acceptable, or pleasing. It's been translated both ways. It's holy and pleasing or acceptable to God, and this is your true worship. But yeah, so that was the idea. I used that illustration of the truck. I'm not sure I even explained it very well. I probably should have posted a link or something to that video. It's like this big truck.
Yeah.
There were blades that were this long. They looked like machete steel blades, and no tires at all. And they were just on all four tires, and just to see what would happen. And what do you think would happen, right? The weight of that truck bent them all out. And I guess they were trying to imagine that it would be like grabbing the ground, and they'd really have this, four-wheeling kind of experience. But no.
Epic fail.
Yeah, it was like something epic fail, something set apart for a special use that's supposed to be used a certain way. Was being used in the wrong way, and in the process, it ruined the thing. And I was just saying, our lives are kind of like that.
Surprised it didn't ruin the truck.
Yeah, well, it may have. I didn't watch any farther. I only watched a few minutes.
That was enough.
All right, I think we're about rolling out of time. Is what's happening here. But is there anything else that we want to say about before we check out? I mean, I know that we're missing something.
Oh, so let me tee this up for you. So what would bring us to worship?
Well, there would be a reason. It's because God so loved the world, I mean so much, that he gave his only son, that whoever believes in him will not perish, but have eternal life.
Exactly. Where do you find that more?
John 3:16. And read it, and then read it again, and read it one more time, and then read it again.
And realize that it's actually about you.
That's right.
And, well, it's about God, mostly. But it's about God and how much he loves.
Well, I was talking...
Oh, we're out, right?
Are we almost out?
We got
A couple minutes, all right.
We're down to the wire.
I was about to
Were you about to say something? Bob?
Well, in the sense that that sort of love is what can really facilitate that worship that we have.
Well, that's true.
And that really, I mean, it comes down to it. Why would we love a God that didn't really care about us?
Yeah, exactly. That's so good, because that is the idea. It's our response, both personal and corporate, to God for who he is and what he has done. And that we're responding to his love for us.
Which goes to your worthship.
Mike Tyson. Worthship. Okay. All right, guys. We're out. I think we're out of time here. Enjoy talking with you. We'll pray for Tracy tonight and hope he's better. All right, guys. Well, final words tonight.
Well, Tracy's not here, so I'll say love you guys, love you all.
Likewise.
Tribute to Tracy, come on.
That was groovy, cat. Likewise. All right, grace and peace to you. That's all we have for tonight. You can always, before I say grace and peace to you, which I've already said, you can always join us every Sunday, compassdenver.com, or Facebook. Our live service is streamed at Compass Church Colorado on Facebook, and we'd love to have you as our guest this Sunday. All right, grace and peace to you. That's all we have for tonight, and we're done. We're out.
Number one fan.
This is the 2020 version of washing each other's feet. Feel better?
Got my feet washed. Yeah,
You're still so sweaty. I just feel so bad. We just turn off the air.